Hello everyone, welcome to Tips for Trish Blender Basics. So today we are going to be going over something very basic, which is just the materials, because this is kind of the building block for most things. Once you have everything set up, you're going to want it to be textured in some way. So we're not going to go over textures today, but I'm going to show you the basics of the materials. So okay, let's get started. So we got our cube here, and we're gonna just work with the basic material. We'll be going over Blender and Cycles Render. So let's get started. So the first, most obvious thing is the diffuse, which is just very basic. There you go. So pretty much just choose what color you want it to be, and it changes to that. It's pretty basic. Now specular, or I think that's how it's said, specular, which is essentially just this glare here. So this little glare here, this kind of lets you, well, let's do this. So as you can see, there's, you know what, let's just change into rendered. So the specular, well, this is a bad example. Sorry. We're gonna make a sphere. Okay, so there you go. Sorry about that. And we're gonna make it smooth. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this material. So you can see the glare, and pretty much it takes away the glare. So pretty much you can edit the color of this however you want, and that's pretty basic. And then we have the emit, which makes it so that you can make it glowing if you want. There's not much else to say about it. But Blender Render is okay. Blender Render is okay, depending on what you're going for. So what I'm going to show you next is the more complicated version, which is Cycles Render. So we're going to go into Cycles, and Cycles does things very differently than Blender Render. In Cycles, basically it uses the ambient, and in this case it would be the gray background as its lighting. So there's not really too much to explain, but in order to get anything other than the basic color here in the Cycles Renders, you have to click Use Nodes, and now you have basically quite a few options, but the ones I use most often, the ones you'll probably use most often, is we have glass, which is obvious, it's glass. If I remember correctly, it will distort other things. So let's just do a quick test of that, so I don't look like an idiot in front of everyone. Spawn a cube, put it back there, and put it into rendered. Yeah, so it looks like it will probably distort everything, but you can adjust the roughness and everything, so you make it more or less see-through. Fairly basic stuff. So we're gonna delete this. Delete that. Excuse me, sorry. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to go into the next thing, which is let's do glossy. Glossy is pretty much just what it says. It's more of a metallic kind of look. This is good if you want to make some sort of like cars, for instance. Cars have if you want to make car paint, glossy is really good, and then you turn up the roughness to make it less reflective or more. So we're going to turn on the preview because this is very helpful. So there's really not too much to say about glossy. It's mainly just it's very useful if you're trying to make some sort of like car paint or something. So sorry, my computer's being stupid right now. But so one of the diffuse, which is pretty much what you saw before with Blender Render. Emission is just that. It's emission. You edit the strength here, obviously, and yeah, there's some cool things you can do with emission that I'll talk about later when I go over nodes. But yeah, there's not much else with the mission, at least. And refraction is pretty much the same as glass, except it's much more, it changes the way that the thing looks much more, but you can't see this. But oh, as you can see right here, you can see that it changes it a lot more than it does otherwise. So we're gonna change that back to solid. So as you can see here, it is just warping all of this checkered look behind it, the checkered texture. That was the word I'm looking for. Sorry about that. There's really not too much to say about this, up the roughness and everything. Pretty much the same as glass. Not much else to say. And this is anthropic. I don't know how you would say this. Anthropic. Whatever. So pretty much this is something that I use this a lot for my for metals and such, because I find it to look really good. But as you can see, like up on this top area, it just kind of gets that kind of circular line. I don't know how to describe it. It makes it look more like a actual metallic thing. So glossy is good for metals, but I recommend this if you're trying to make something look metal as opposed to painted. So not really much else to do in this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this cleared some stuff up for you guys. It's not that long, but none of these videos are going to be. So I hope that this helped you in some way. If it did, feel free to leave a comment. If you like the video, make sure you like the video. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you have any suggestions, or if you are wondering about something specific, then yeah, go ahead and leave something down in the comments. I read all the comments, and I will reply to you. I'm rambling, sorry. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And like if you liked, be sure to subscribe if you want more of this. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you guys later.